Hello everybody! Welcome to the Flash News channel. Before I jump into today's video, I want to take a moment to thank Aura for sponsoring this video. Have you ever been overwhelmed by spam phone calls to the point where you avoid answering unknown numbers? Or maybe you've been waiting for an important call but feel the need to pick up every unknown number that calls you. If you've ever wondered why this happens, one reason could be that your personal data has been exposed online by data brokers and people search websites. With Aura, you can sign up for their data broker opt-out feature, which removes your personal data from these online databases, resulting in fewer spam calls. This is one of the main reasons I started using Aura. But that's not all. Aura also alerts me if any of my sensitive data has been compromised in a breach, and they give me fraud alerts if anyone tries to use my information to access my bank or credit accounts. Aura also provides transaction monitoring, a VPN, antivirus protection, a password manager, parental controls, and identity theft insurance, all in one affordable package. I can't leave the protection of my sensitive data up to chance, and if you don't want to either, head to aura.com/impressive or click the link in the description to try your first 2 weeks free. Now, let's get back to the video. Today, I want to talk about Shakira and her new stadium tour. Shakira has recently launched her South American and North American stadium tour to promote her latest album. While she's been receiving a lot of love for the tour, there's also been some controversy. Specifically, people are accusing Shakira of copying elements from Beyonce's Renaissance tour. Some are even going as far as calling it plagiarism, but I think it's more of an inspiration situation. Shakira's creative team might have been inspired by Beyonce's tour and borrowed a few ideas. Through all, Shakira attended the Renaissance tour and admitted to taking notes while watching. It's clear that Shakira incorporated some elements that closely resemble the look and feel of Beyonce's show, from the stage design and outfits to the fonts used on the billboards. People have pointed out that Shakira's visuals are very similar to Beyonce's, right down to the font. This hasn't gone unnoticed, with fans joking about Shakira's tour being literal Renaissance nachos, poking fun at how Shakira's tour seems like a reheated version of Beyonce's ideas. Others have laughed about how Shakira has seemingly copied everything, from the font to the stage layout, almost bar for bar from the Renaissance tour. It's been quite a talking point on social media, and while some are amused by it, others find it a bit too much of a copycat move. That being said, I do think it's important to recognize that artists are often inspired by each other, and this isn't the first time we've seen such exchanges of creative influence. Both Shakira and Beyonce have drawn inspiration from one another over the years. In fact, early in her career, Beyonce was inspired by Shakira's performances and music. So, it's not surprising that Shakira would look to Beyonce for inspiration in her latest tour. While Shakira's team did borrow some elements from Beyonce's Renaissance tour, there are still plenty of unique touches that make Shakira's show distinctly hers. Shakira has always had her own style and has brought her own Shakirisms to the stage. So, while there are some clear similarities, it's not a total copy of Beyonce's show. Plus, Shakira has had a monumental year, becoming the first Latin female artist to sell out stadiums on this scale. That's a massive achievement in itself. I also want to mention that Shakira's been facing some health issues recently. She was hospitalized, and I sincerely hope she recovers quickly and continues to deliver incredible performances. Her fans have been showing a lot of support, and I'm sure they're all rooting for her to get back to full health. Now let's switch gears and talk about Z and P. Diddy. Recently, the accuser who filed a lawsuit against them dropped her case. To give you some context, this woman claimed that Z and P. Diddy violated her when she was 13 years old at an after-party for the 2000 VMAs at Diddy's house. She said that after the incident, she ran away from the party, went to a gas station, and called her father to pick her up. However, when she gave an interview with NBC, there were a lot of inconsistencies in her story. For example, her father said he didn't recall picking her up that night, which seemed strange considering it was a serious situation. Additionally, the accuser claimed she met Benji Madden at the party, but he wasn't even at the event because he was on tour. Jay-Z was also partying at a different nightclub that night, so there's no documentation that he attended the after-party at Diddy's house. On top of that, the accuser said she was taken to the party by one of Diddy's limousine drivers, but Gene Dill, Diddy's bodyguard at the time, questioned that part of the story as well. Due to these inconsistencies, the accuser voluntarily dismissed her lawsuit, which is a huge relief for both Jay-Z and P. Diddy. Case had caused a lot of stress for them, but now they can move on. It's still unclear why the accuser dropped the case, but with the holes in her story, it's no surprise that the case didn't move forward. In conclusion, Shakira and Jay-Z are both making headlines for very different reasons. Shakira is facing criticism for possibly borrowing too much from Beyoncé's Renaissance tour, but she's also breaking records and achieving major milestones. Meanwhile, Jay-Z and P. Diddy are relieved that a lawsuit against them has been dismissed after several inconsistencies came to light. It's been a wild ride for both of them, but they're each continuing to thrive in their careers.
It was just a lot of inconsistencies. I was like, yo, first of all, we didn't even use limousines. You understand? Bad Boy used SUVs. And then for a limousine driver who wouldn't know us, how you gonna tell somebody to get in the party? He had to go through security for that. And that just wouldn't have happened.
If you look closely at the details, the accuser's story just doesn't add up. While many people were trying to push the narrative that the accusations against Jay-Z were true, I honestly didn't believe it. Jay-Z and his lawyer Alex fought tooth and nail, not only against the allegations but also against the lawyer representing the accuser, Tony Busby. Tony is currently representing over 100 of Diddy's alleged accusers. Diddy is facing serious trafficking and racketeering charges and is currently in prison awaiting trial. Numerous individuals have come forward claiming Diddy wronged them, and Tony has been representing them. In fact, he even set up a hotline for people to call in if they wanted him to represent them, essentially creating a class action lawsuit with the goal of getting a big payout. Some of these lawsuits mention other celebrities as well, and Tony has been working behind the scenes to mediate with those involved, trying to get them to quietly settle. Jay-Z, however, refused to settle. He saw this as an extortion attempt, and he fought back hard. He even wanted Tony to be sanctioned for his actions. Eventually, Jay-Z dropped the motion to sanction Tony, and in return, he scored a huge victory when the accuser dropped her lawsuit against him. But that doesn't mean Jay-Z is done with Tony. He's still suing him for extortion, defamation, and emotional distress. Jay-Z also claims that the allegations cost him $20 million in endorsement deals and damaged his reputation. He says it even ruined a special moment with his daughter Blue Ivy at her movie premiere. To make matters worse, both Jay-Z and Beyonce faced an onslaught of insulting remarks online. The situation didn't stop there. Jay-Z alleges that their family even started receiving violent threats. As wild as this sounds, it's honestly believable. There are a lot of unhinged individuals who could read these kinds of stories and let that influence them to act out. In fact, there's leaked footage from the Grammys that showed Beyoncé's bodyguard Julius being told to follow her. Jay-Z himself even instructed the bodyguard to keep a close watch on her, and Beyoncé's publicist echoed the same instructions. This level of protection seemed a bit excessive because the Grammys have their own security, but it shows the level of threat they were dealing with at the time. The threats were serious enough that it required extra protection. Jay-Z and his family have clearly been under a lot of stress because of these allegations. But now Jay-Z is going after Tony Busby with a vengeance. He was pretty clever about it, filing his lawsuit in California where extortion laws are taken very seriously. In other states, Tony could have simply issued a demand letter without much legal consequence, but in California, it's much more likely that this situation will be considered extortion due to the context surrounding it. If that happens, Jay-Z could very well come out on top in this lawsuit. The real issue here is that Tony Busby should never have taken on the accuser's case without thoroughly vetting it first. By doing so, he's damaged his own credibility. This situation will likely have a ripple effect on the other lawsuits he's representing, especially the ones against Diddy. People are now asking whether he picked up bogus cases and whether his clients are really telling the truth. Those questions are beginning to surface, and Tony's reputation is being called into question. In the end, I think Tony really messed up here. He picked up a case that didn't hold up, and now he's facing serious consequences. Meanwhile, Jay-Z has cleared his name and shown that he wasn't guilty of the crime he was accused of. He fought back against the extortion and defamation and is now taking legal action to ensure this doesn't happen again. I'm glad to see Jay-Z standing his ground and taking control of the situation. He knew he was innocent and he made sure people saw that. What do you all think about this whole situation? Let me know your thoughts down below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and feel free to share this video if you care. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.